Moving on, we are at the fourth panel discussion now. Technology and innovation is one of the themes of today's conference and a huge part of stroke care, treatment, and rehabilitation. This is what our experts will be discussing in our next panel discussion on intervention and innovations in stroke care, harnessing the potential of technology. Our distinguished panelists will guide us through the potential of technological interventions in stroke care. Please join me in welcoming all our esteemed panelists. Dr. Mukesh N. Sharma, Director, Neuro Intervention and Stroke, Marengo CIMS Hospital. Dr. Kaumil Kothari, Consultant Neurologist and Stroke Specialist, Divyam Advanced Neurology Clinic, Rajkot. Mr. Vikal Dubey, Associate Director, Strategy and Alliance, Digital Therapeutics and Patient Supports Program, GOQii. And Dr. Tamaghna Ghosh, Product Owner, Neurocritical Care Suite, Qure.ai. Along with sharing his views, Dr. Ghosh will be leading this discussion as a panel moderator. Over to you now, Dr. Ghosh.
Okay, both work?
No, whatever.
Right, thank you for the kind introduction. So ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and distinguished panelists, I welcome you to today's last but not the least thought-provoking panel discussion on the crucial topic of intervention and innovation in stroke care, harnessing the potential of technology. So from all the panel discussions and fireside chat that we have experienced today, and we've heard from all the experts, it's very clear that stroke is a global health challenge that affects millions of lives each year. And it's a topic that requires our immediate attention. In today's world, where technological advancements are redefining the boundary of healthcare, it is essential to explore how cutting-edge technology can be leveraged to transform stroke care and improve patient outcomes. So our objective today with this panel discussion is to delve deep into this intersection of healthcare and technology, seeking insights and innovative solutions that can make a substantial impact on stroke prevention, early detection, treatment, and long-term care. So with this introduction, I'll open it up to our panelists and start with a round of questions. So the first question is to you, Dr. Mukesh Sharma. So in your role in neuro intervention and stroke care, so how has technology transformed the way we diagnose and treat stroke patients?
Thank you. First of all, thank you to Voice of Healthcare and ISA for inviting me with interacting with you guys. Technology, I think, changed everything in a stroke treatment. Okay, and particularly in the intervention part. You all know the time is brain. And if we can do the things fast in diagnosing the patient, once the patient reaches to the hospital or emergency, we can save lots of neurons. You all know the two treatments are available. One is a thrombolysis, and second is a thrombectomy, which we do those who are doing the neuro intervention, and both are time-based treatment. So. In all the studies where the neuro intervention has been studied, they took technology software that is called RAPID. So RAPID is the software where all the imaging actually analyze. So doing the CT scan, MRI or angiography, that can be like all the which area of brain is involved, which vessel is involved. You can get the information rapid. That's why the name came with the rapid. So now it is available, commercially available, and those who are high volume center doing very good work in a stroke treatment, they have this kind of the software, Rapid or somewhere. So you can get the information about the imaging of the stroke patient immediately on your mobile, so you can analyze. Okay, even you are sitting in a different places, as a team, you know what should be done in a particular patient. So we can take the patient for the intervention, or patient suppose not need any intervention. So technology really changed significantly in that aspect, particularly in a neurointervention part.
Right, very rightly put, sir. Time is brain and faster decision making aids that. So maybe a next question to Dr. Kothari. What potential do you see in advanced imaging techniques and interventional procedures in enhancing the speed and precision of stroke care? So building upon maybe what Dr. Sharma said, how can advanced imaging and intervention can be increased, can actually be hastened? Yeah.
Thank you for asking. Yeah. So I thank you for asking this pertinent question, and it's really heartening to see so much awareness being built up for stroke, because somehow we always feel, we as stroke specialists, we always feel that stroke somehow does not get its due. Stroke is the #1 cause of disability throughout the world. But still, if you go and ask a layperson what are the symptoms of stroke, then they'll be really puzzled, because they'll not be knowing what are the real symptoms of stroke. So to go to the grassroots level and create awareness of stroke. So this is probably the first step in building that awareness. Now coming to the advanced imaging and technology for imaging and assessment of stroke, as well as for intervention, I think we have really come a long way in the last decade. So in 2015 was the time when things really changed for intervention. That is the year when back to back there are 4 to 5 international publications which really proved that thrombectomy, that is opening up a vessel from inside and pulling out the clot, is really the way to go for large vessel strokes. So since then and up to now, the hardware for neurointervention has really come a long way. So now the catheters which we used to take only probably up to the neck, the same bore catheters now we are able to take it even deep inside the brain and in the small vessels. So that is how technology has rapidly advanced in the last few years. Because of that, obviously, as we have been hearing, that time is brain. So the sooner we are able to perform the procedure, we are able to give the better results. So obviously speed has increased. Similarly, precision has also increased. Previously, we were probably able to open 50-60% of the vessels. Now we are able to open 80-90% of the vessels. So speed and precision, both of the things have dramatically improved. Also, we can now combine different approaches to give maximum result to the patients. So previously, because of lack of technology, we were able to use only a single modality in a particular patient. But now we are able to combine different approaches and give the best result to the patients. So I would say that the landscape has completely revolutionized in the last probably 5 to 7 years. And looking forward also, this is the area where so much new innovation is going on, that probably we are just at the cusp of something which is really very big. So technology is a very, very important part of the neurointervention technique today, and I am sure it is going to develop more and more in the future.
That's a very interesting point. That means that it's not only the speed and precision which is increasing, but it's also the number of patients who are now eligible for that treatment. That number is also increasing. Very interesting. So now coming to you, Mr. Dubey, as an expert in digital therapeutics, what is the potential?
Which for calling a tech company into the gathering of such an esteemed doctors. So yes, I would love to answer that question. That's basically the impact of technology onto the life of stroke survivors is significant, right? I can say that because this is something we are leveraging in GOQii since last couple of years. And if I'll talk about stroke, it's almost 1.5 years we are running a program on pure stroke rehabilitation. Let me tell you, it's the first virtual stroke rehabilitation program globally, right? BI is running that program with GOQii. But there's one part which we always miss. Along with patient, there is also caregivers, right? So we are not just helping patients, we are helping caregivers as well. There are various parts of it. Telemedicine is something I don't want to discuss because it has already been talked a lot, utilized a lot, seen a lot, right? So that is one part. Second part is the mobile application. So when I'm discussing about the program which we are running with a BI, the patients after their discharge from the hospital is onboarded on the GOQii app, right? And since then, the complete care journey is delivered virtually. Let me tell you virtually. Nutritionist, neurophysiotherapy, emotional wellness, testing, the remote patient monitoring, everything is done virtually. The best part of it is a patient who is living at a remote area of Gwalior MP is able to get the neurophysiotherapy sessions from a doctor who is sitting in Delhi or Mumbai, right? All the vitals, heart rate, blood pressure, temperature, SpO2, sleep pattern, everything is getting monitored. And the doctor, the prescribing doctor, is able to see the vitals on a real-time basis. He has a complete understanding of what exactly the patient is doing, what exactly the patient recovery rate is. This is what the power of digital technologies are. Third, what I would like to talk and focus about the virtual reality and the gaming rehabilitation. Every one of us is aware about the virtual reality, but that is something we are harnessing into the rehabilitation part. We are creating rehabilitation games, right? Why it is so? Because patient engagement or patient interaction with gaming software becomes more, I'll say, engaging. Patient engages more, patient gets motivated and do the things, right? It also increases the motor skills and the cognitive functions of the patients. You must have heard about the rehabilitation robots. It's just the replacing the caregivers. There's last but not the least, is brain-computer interface. So it's one of the latest technology which has just come into the picture. There's just one use case in US. So the brain implants are attached with the patients, and patient can navigate application things with the brain signals. So in this case, we are just one use case in US. The patient got stroke almost 10 years back. The body is completely paralyzed, can't move. So what they've done is they have put a brain implant, right? They have created an avatar of that patient, and whenever patient wants to talk, the patient can send signals via the system. It goes to the computer, and avatar is basically translating that signals into the voice and interacting with the patient's caregiver or the doctors. So when we are talking about the technology, it's significant. There's no limit of it. And let me congratulate to BI as well, who basically believed in it and run such kind of virtual programs. Almost 600 patients have been onboarded. Recovery rate or the improvement is almost 71.8%. So that's the power of technology.
That's wonderful. And also, I think the point to note here is, and that's where the power of this kind of technology exists or digital intervention exists. I think the effort to go from 0 to 1 may be difficult, but from 1 to 100 and then 100 to 100,000 patients, that is exponentially faster. So that is where, versus normal interventions, where the power lies. So quickly, maybe going to the second round of questions. Coming to you, Dr. Sharma, what are, in your opinion, the key areas within interventional neurology where technology plays a crucial role, And just adding to that, how can healthcare providers and medical teams ensure that they stay updated with the latest innovations and best practices in the field?
So neurointervention is totally technology. If there is no technology, anybody can't do the neurointervention. So it's starting from the imaging, CT scan, MRIs, and a base software which is available, going to give you better information about the vessels, either like a vessel size, stenosis, maybe aneurysm, maybe AV malformation. These are the diseases which we deal. So if you have the better software, high upgraded machine in a hospital, giving you more information, so you go with the more information before the procedure. So you can plan your procedure in a better way. That is the number one. Second, where we are performing our procedures, that are the cath lab. Okay, so now the cath lab, which is available in the world, which can do the CT scan, it's on there only. No need to send the patient for the imaging, like in the radiology department. You can do the CT angio. You can do the perfusion study on a cath lab. So in one of the best center of the world, where particularly stroke patient, because we are here for the stroke only, they bypassing the emergency, even the radiology, and going directly those patients to the cath lab suite, where the imaging, all the imaging can be done at the one place, and if patient is needed, the treatment can be delivered there only. So this is the innovation which is going on right now, and we are getting a better and better machine in our hospitals now, even in India. Coming to the cath lab part also, so if you have the better software that can give better information about the 3D images, we can see better about the brain vessels, how to go. Sometimes the vessels are so tortuous, if you are not having a good cath lab, it's really difficult to navigate those vessels. Now coming to the hardware, okay, the hardware has changed significantly in last 5-6 years. So like in aneurysm, we used to coil almost all aneurysm with the coils. Now we have the different material where we can just place inside one material and aneurysm is done. And sometimes we just place one stent and the treatment of aneurysm is done. Now we have the better embolic material for the disease called dural fistula or AV malformation that can completely cure in the single setting. So these are the technology given us to treat a difficult disease of brain vessels in a single setting. So definitely in a neurointervention, if there is no technology, we can't treat a single patient without a technology. So technology is directly related to the neurointervention.
Wonderfully put.
And coming to the stroke, like now in the Western world, where the distance are significantly long, that ambulances have the CT scan. People start getting the treatment just after at door of your home, because the CT is available, expert staff is there in the ambulance that can be delivered the treatment just before reaching the hospital. That is because of the technology.
Yeah, I think as a radiologist myself, I found that really insightful. I mean, we will have to move towards getting our imaging equipment and our imaging itself to the patient rather than the patient to the imaging equipment or to the imaging center, right? That is how we will actually make stroke care more faster. Coming to you, Dr. Kothari. So my question to you is, what are the key challenges and opportunities in implementing digital or AI-driven solutions in stroke care?
So, artificial intelligence or AI is, as it has been talked a lot, is the next big thing. And healthcare is obviously one of the key areas where AI is going to impact, or it has even started impacting multiple fields. So I would say that the opportunities are stupendous in healthcare for artificial intelligence. And considering that stroke is such a time-bound disease, artificial intelligence is a really powerful tool for assessment and treatment of stroke. So the first thing is that the stroke is quite time-bound. We have to treat a particular patient in a particular time, which requires assessment of multiple variables in a very short time. The other important thing is that the stroke patients are very heterogeneous. Those who have been treating stroke, we know that no two stroke patients are alike. They can present with either a small vessel stroke or a large vessel occlusion. The etiology is different in different patients. So because the population is so heterogeneous, there is a lot of variability in each presentation. The third thing is about uncertainty, because even a small stroke can give a lifelong disability, whereas sometimes large strokes can give no disability. So when the patient comes to the emergency department, it is very difficult to really give an estimate or idea of how the recovery is going to progress. And the other thing is about the unmet needs of stroke, that now the urban centers are developing a lot, but still the rural areas are untouched, and there are a lot of centers where basic facilities like CT scan or good neurological assessment is very difficult. So all of these things is where artificial intelligence can really help. So artificial intelligence and machine learning are things which they process large amounts of data in a very short time, and they have an ability to innovate and improvise over time. So because we have a huge population and we have a huge data set, so new algorithms can be created which can really bypass all the bottlenecks and give a very streamlined solution to stroke care. And we have seen also development of various imaging modalities, like now there is a score called aspect score. So first we used to just see the score visually. Now there are AI-driven software solutions which can give us an estimate of the score. Similarly, whether the patient is really a candidate for intervention or not, those answers can also be given by intervention. So there are multiple ways in which artificial intelligence has started impacting stroke care. About the challenges, obviously any new technology, the implementation of technology itself is not easy. Stroke, as we discussed, is a very, very heterogeneous disorder. So each step there have to be different algorithms and different AI models. The fidelity of the models has to be very high, because this is the patient's life that we are talking about. And we have to be really sure about what the AI model is giving us. And we have to really vet the information that the AI model is giving us. So even ChatGPT and Bard AI tools, basic information also sometimes they give wrong or they give vague answers. So to trust them for giving healthcare information is something which would, it has to be really of a very high accuracy. And there are a lot of ethical and legal concerns around AI always. So that is also something which has to be navigated. Suppose a decision is taken on the basis of an AI tool, and then the patient develops some complication, then we really don't know whom to blame. So there are a lot of opportunities and there are challenges also. But then I think looking forward in the next 5 to 10 years, this is what is going to be the next revolution in healthcare.
Very insightful. Just to maybe add a little bit to that, as you very correctly said, I mean, things like ChatGPT or Bard AI, I mean, where the veracity of the information or the output that is there doesn't matter as much, or maybe the stakes are not as high. But when we're dealing with medical grade AI, that the stakes are basically, lives are at stake, right? And so this is also actually a big challenge, because that means when you want to get an FDA approval, when you want to get regulatory clearances, there's a lot more scrutiny that goes in. It's treated exactly like a device. So it's software as a medical device. And so even though the world of technology moves really, really fast, when it comes to medical grade software, it takes years, even after development, to actually get the clearance and reaching to the patient, right?
A recent example is the Google Pixel 8, which was recently launched. So the 8 Pro has a temperature sensor, but it has not been FDA approved to test human temperature. So it is just waiting for the FDA approval. So the ChatGPT and Bard, they sugarcoat the answers and they make it look correct, but that does not work for healthcare solutions.
And all the more concerning, because differentiating between what is a correct answer and what looks like a correct answer but isn't becomes more and more challenging as these things develop. Coming to the next question, Mr. Dubey, how can digital therapeutics and patient support programs be integrated into stroke care to provide ongoing support and monitoring? And just adding to this, what strategies can healthcare providers employ to make these technologies more accessible to the patients?
So the answer to the first question is definitely I have given in my previous answers, where we have already launched a program, digital therapeutics program, to support patients with BI, right? So we have already combined the patient support programs with the digital technologies. Coming to your next point is like how it can be, the providers can influence it. So the very first point is the education, right? Both the patient and the doctor's education, like digital technologies definitely are evolving on a daily basis. So what are the use of the new technology, how it can be navigated, that is something the doctors and patients both can be educated on, right? Second is the digital therapeutics should be made prescription based rather than recommendation based, right? What happens is, at our place, in India, what I've seen is most of the time doctors recommend the digital therapeutic solution rather than prescribing it. There are impacts of it, right? What happens is most of the time when they are recommending it, insurance company also don't go towards including them in their packages. So it cannot get reimbursed, right? And that's why patient also, India is a country where every penny matters. So patient basically get hesitant to buy such kind of solutions. So it should be more prescription based rather than recommendation based. Third, and like last is more towards the financial options, right? So what we have done in the DTX program with BI, we have provided the gap financing option to the patients. So the window, the 4 hour or 3 hours golden window, what we talk about, patient don't have to worry about the financial options. So any patients who is coming and would like to get thrombolized, within the span of 15 to 20 minutes, he gets the decision on how much money is going to be spent, and he gets the whole money arranged within that span of 20-30 minutes, right? So he don't have to worry about it. And the caregiver as well. And if such, like as I said, if it can be more prescriptive based, then definitely the insurance companies will also come forward and include them in their packages. So these kind of solutions can be included in the insurance packages, which is not there right now, but it can be done if this can be done in a systematic manner. And this will help patients a lot. So these are few of the things which can be done to improve the adaptation of the digital technologies.
And accessibility. I think just adding to one more challenge that I have maybe seen, it is also, I think, the challenge of digital literacy, right? Because stroke, a large proportion of it will happen in the elderly. And even though we see the ubiquitous uptake of smartphones, there is still a proportion of our society who are not that comfortable with digital technology, who are not used to touch screens and smartphones, right? And they are the ones who are at risk of stroke. So that may also be a challenge.
Exactly. So that's where caregivers comes into the picture. The education of caregivers towards how to handle those patients becomes very important, right? And that's where basically everyone needs to put efforts together.
Right. That was a very interesting conversation. So just to wrap it up maybe, just going off script a little bit, But if you had to choose one, if you had to choose just one technology that you think is the most interesting or the one to look out for, maybe in just the next 1 year, maybe if you're meeting again in 1 year, the one technology that we would all be talking about, what would you think? A question to all of you, what would that be? One thing that you think is in the world of technology that's going to revolutionize stroke care, in your opinion?
Definitely, like AI based, if give more information about the selection of the patient. We are talking only stroke patient. Where I am half digitally literate, I would say. So definitely giving more information without calculating by myself, probably going to help the kind of person, those who are doing the intervention, probably going to help us more for the neuro intervention perspective.
Dr. Kothari?
I think I'll be more interested in some AI tool which helps the common public in diagnosis of stroke. So if there's a tool in which if we put in symptoms and they tell us the probability of stroke, so that is where we can bypass a lot of hurdles are there. And depending on the probability of the current symptoms of whether it is a stroke or not, then the patients and the caregivers can decide at which place to go so that they can get the earliest treatment. And considering the symptoms of stroke, I don't think that such a tool will be very difficult to make. It is just using the right algorithm to create that tool.
And Mr. Dubey?
So first of all, about this point, there are implants are getting tested, which will based on the vitals, body vitals, and like other things, will tell you what is the probability of getting a stroke for a patient. So there's a study going on, but the accuracy right now is somewhere around 60 to 65%. So definitely they are improving the accuracy on it. But second, what I would like to see is the last point, which I have said, is the brain-computer interface, right? Because it will surely revive the life of a stroke survivor who cannot speak, who cannot walk, who cannot talk, right? If that can be done on a mass level, then definitely it would be very helpful, not just for the patient, but for the caregivers as well.
As a doctor working in AI company, it's heartening to hear that 2 out of 3 of my panelists have chosen AI as the next big thing. So, yeah, glad to know. So, any questions from the audience? I can open it up. Maybe a show of hands if you have any questions. We can take it up. Anyone? Right. Okay. Then I think I'll wrap it up. So this dialogue that we just heard, has underscored the urgency of addressing the global challenge of stroke, while also emphasizing the transformative role that technology can play in the treatment of stroke, right? Whether it's telemedicine for remote consultation, whether it's AI-driven diagnostics, or also, wearable devices for early detection. The possibilities are endless and truly inspiring. And my heartfelt thanks to our distinguished panelists, our engaged audience, and also Voice of Healthcare for this enlightening discussion. May our collective efforts to continue to drive positive change in stroke care continue. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, panelists. I request all of you to please be on stage for the felicitation. Thank you, Dr. Ghosh, for leading this discussion so wonderfully. I'd like you to please felicitate all your co-panelists. Dr. Mukesh and Sharma. Dr. Kaumil Kothari. Mr. Vikal Dubey. And may I please invite Ms. Khushbu Sharma to come on stage and felicitate Dr. Ghosh. Please step forward for a group picture, everyone.